here for a couple of years. I'm not sure I've ever seen snow. I'm on my way to pay a visit to LA. Good morning. I don't generally turn on the camera at 6 o'clock in the morning or 6:30 in the morning. I'm really excited for today though, because we are going on a wildflower hunt. A super bloom. It's been raining in California at the Anza Borrego Desert. Coyote Wildflower Viewing Center. Next stop, about an hour. I'm getting excited. Lots of bloomage going on along the road area. Look at that! Oh my gosh! It's worth the wait already. Suffering. There was a lot of singing about that subject. Lots of harmonizing. Lots of melodies going on in the comments of people chiming in. And I want to thank you for adding your voice to this. Because we are working on or practicing, or I don't know if you know that that's what you're doing, but if you're watching me on a regular basis, practicing intuition is probably the little vibe that's going on about this, because I feel that it is one of our senses. We are wired with intuition, and we've let it wither over the years. And I am trying, my intention here is to share myself, making myself more visible as I step more deeply into practicing intuition, and by virtue, inviting you and beckoning you along with me. And wow, on this story about suffering, I really feel like we are, we're kind of starting to dance together. So today I am going to go over some of the comments that you have shared, and I am big on when this is a safe space. I want this channel to be a safe space, even though, you know, the possibility of a lot of people can hear it. But the bottom line of what we're germinating here is ways to uplift, or at least uplift us enough so that we can see a little bit more of the possibilities, taking the blinders off. We are exquisitely, perfectly imperfect. And as we all become more visible together, we are going to be radiating out into our circles of influence. And one thing that I have learned crystal clear over the past number of years is that one person can make a difference. So it could be me, it could be you. And the good part is there's no scarcity of the practice of being as happy as we can be in any certain situation. That's the practice, is to be enjoying it at the same time as I'm learning from it, even though it's sometimes not enjoyable. Let's just jump off. The wings will be there, I guarantee. If we can allow ourselves to grow together and converse together, and be mindful that the words that come out of our mouth, no matter where we are words that, if it happens to be about another person, sharing the good stuff about one another is what we need to do. So the opposite of complaining about another person is looking for an opportunity to see that we are all doing the best we can, and that's enough. This promises to be a very interesting story as I dive into these comments. And I'm hoping that over the next, well, however long that we're together, that we're going to be expanding the definition of judgment. Judgment is a big part of unhappiness, stress. Thinking things should be different than they are, that's where judgment gets started. And so we're going to try to unravel that and kind of let it be looser, maybe more expansive, because judgment blocks intuition. So I'm not going to invite you to buckle up for this upcoming comment review. Instead, I'm going to invite you to loosen up and allow ourselves to expand the concept of suffering, deepen our understanding of suffering, and then expand suffering to include all the bits and pieces, because that's what will heal us. We're going to grow together, we're going to heal together, and we are definitely taking it to where we're going to see more possibilities. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are too. Complaining is a habit. It's a way to connect with people. Since the majority of us lack awareness of self or others, but still have an innate need to connect, complaining fills that need briefly, so we do it often and long. And I replied, when I noticed complaining was a recurring theme in my conversations, what bubbled up next was many opportunities to witness how complaining played out in the lives of the humans around me, meaning other people, not me. Then I heard someone say, I notice I'm angry a lot, and I wonder, if I'm not angry, what would I think about? Those words healed me of the need to complain to fit in. And by simmering anger there, that's what I feel around the vibe of complaining. Wow, I thought, what would I think about? One answer, I get to know you, Karen. It takes a village. This is just beautiful out here. And you know how I'm always talking about smell-o-vision? It smells like fresh linen that's been on the line all day long. Crisp in your bed, chilled. Of course, it's going to be warm outside, summer. And it's not the fragrance that you smell from the laundry detergent. It's just the clean smell. And that's what it smells like here. So until we invent smell-o-vision, that's going to have to do for now. This next share is from a kindred spirit who was expanding my thoughts about people parking too close to me. Then, when we notice we can do something about, to be aware of it and maybe move somewhere else instead of judging and increasing our own suffering. Indeed, 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 Carol. At some point I thought, we're all quite skilled in our unconscious daily practice of focusing on the shadow. To acknowledge the shadow and still choose to think mostly of infinite possibilities? Talk about adding fuel to a fire. This next thread is from Vangela, who I knew was a kindred spirit as soon as I met Monty. Wow, how rude of them. Yeah, and at Van Aid I was complaining that no one wanted to park around me. We humans, we're always thinking things should be different than they are. Well, you can park near me anytime. Then they went on to say, I get it though. I always feel like I never fit in, or that people don't like me. I felt that the first time I met you. Thank you, and please know you can park near me too. I mean, I wasn't thinking you were a misfit too when I first met you. Or did I? After 2 months of tan and green, drab green, as my backdrop, the super bloom has come to the desert. What a welcome sight. Right, Imogene? People are funny. I try to appreciate these opportunities for contemplation when they pop up. Leah, yes. And sometimes my monkey mind jumps to old recordings before my soul reaches out, hugs me, and says, we are all doing the best we can. And that's enough. Is this heaven? Ants, time to go. With all the blooms going on, it's kind of interesting to come across something that seems to be past their prime and going back to reseeding. Circle of life. I hate the noise and tearing up the land. Hate is such a strong word. Is that really what you mean? Okay, I dislike the noise, but I do hate tearing up the land with a passion. There you go. I knew you had that in your heart. Feels better, right? And also that we can laugh about it. Love is the opposite of hate. Both can be equally as strong. Which one do I want to feed? Is a question I ask myself every day. Hello, come on, come on. As someone who's just trying to fit in, I missed yesterday, and I'm not going to be here tomorrow. Well said. Thank you, Rob. I feel seen. Pet peeves become pets because we pet them. How wonderful we get the choice. Thank you, Pam. Settling somewhere takes trust that the village is an uplifting orbit to join, until it's not. For me, the hardest thing to trust is investing in something solid, which is the opposite of flowing. Sticks and bricks, as solid as they come, easier to get into than out of. Nomad life, when I want solitude, I can move my house there. When I want community, I can move my house there. As fluid as they come, much easier to trust my choices.